Frida Kahlo was an empowering, influential painter, most known for her self-portraits. She was born on July 6th of 1907 in Coyoacan, Mexico City, Mexico. Her family house was built in 1904 by her father. Shortly after Frida's death in 1954, the house, known as the Casa Azul, was turned into a museum where people from all over the world come to visit in appreciation of her art and her legacy. Aside from her self-portraits, Frida Kahlo's art depicted various personal, feminist, and political issues as well. Despite her success as a female artist in Mexico, she did not always have an easy life. At the age of 6, Frida Kahlo contracted polio in 1913, leading to paralytic consequences, causing her right leg to remain underdeveloped. A few years later, in 1922, Frida was also involved in a horrible bus collision, leaving her severely injured. She was forced to undergo various surgeries and was bedridden for months. Because she was stuck in bed, she resorted to painting. She used her suffering and physical pain as a motivation to produce art, which we see represented in various pieces, such as in What the Water Gave Me, which alludes to the consequences of polio, and in The Broken Column, alluding to her spinal issues from the bus accident. Along with paintings of her physical pain, she also depicted issues with feminism in a macho country like Mexico, and her struggles with her marriage and miscarriages. Frida's early paintings, as well as her interest in politics, led to the introduction between her and her future husband, Diego Rivera, another famous artist, whom she eventually married in 1929. Frida and Diego had a turbulent marriage, as there were issues with fighting, affairs, and the inability to bear a child, given Frida's disabilities making her infertile. One of Frida's most famous paintings is known as the Henry Ford Hospital, otherwise known as the Flying Bed, which represents her struggles with birth and sexuality as a woman. To represent her tumultuous divorce from Diego, she painted Self-Portrait with Thorn Necklace and Hummingbird, signaling her loneliness and pain. Frida's paintings about her struggles as a woman in Mexico were very influential and highly respected. Frida Kahlo is also famously known for her depictions of her political beliefs, which align with communism and Marxism. Frida Kahlo frequently mentioned how proud she was to be born during the time of the Mexican Revolution, when they were working to overthrow the Diaz dictatorship. Frida was very engaged in politics, and after the Mexican Revolution, she joined the Mexican Communist Party in her 20s, where she connected with Diego Rivera, her future husband. After Diego was kicked out of the party, Frida left as well, and they were quickly introduced to Trotsky, a Marxist revolutionist. Trotsky's life was in danger after preaching against Stalin's ideas, and he was forced to seek asylum in Mexico at Frida's home. The willingness to accept Trotsky into her home shows how devoted Frida was to communist politics and revolutionary movements. Frida Kahlo's commitment to politics was portrayed in various paintings showing both her love and devotion to Mexican nationalism and communist ideologies. Works like Between the Curtains, also known as the self-portrait dedicated to Leon Trotsky, represented how much Frida loved and respected him. This painting shows the intersection between Mexican culture and communist revolutions. Another piece reflecting the intersection of politics and art is called Marxism Will Give Health to the Sick. This piece shows the freeing abilities of communism, as Frida portrays it leading her away from evil things. Frida painted this during her last year alive, and one could say it was one of her final attempts to convince the world to fly towards communism. While Frida is adamant about her paintings solely depicting her own life experiences, her struggles with femininity and passion for politics as a woman in a macho country like Mexico could not help but shine through in her art. It clearly represents her frustrations at the injustices of the world. Frida Kahlo's work was not only influential in Mexico, but across the world. It resonated with many women, which has led to a surge of what is known as Frida Mania. Frida Mania encourages and influences feminist movements and political involvement across the world. Her vulnerability as a woman, as well as her portrayal of taboo issues, such as her divorce and miscarriages, represents her strength in reclaiming her womanhood and breaking down societal standards. These efforts gained traction and respect amongst women, which has led to the expansion and commercialization of both her work and herself as a person in recent years. While the popularity of Frida Kahlo has been great in many ways, it has also suffered the consequences of capitalism, as her image has been appropriated and used as a form of profit. The commercialization of her image goes against her values of defying the norms, and has taken away from the meaning behind her artwork and its intersection with femininity and politics. In order to uphold her legacy, it is essential that we do not forget who Frida Kahlo was and what she was famous for in the first place. In 2018, I had the opportunity to visit Frida Kahlo's home, La Casa Azul, in Mexico City. This is one of the only photos I captured from my experience, as it was so beautiful and captivating. As I walked through her house observing the different pieces of art, the power and passion behind them were evident. Frida Kahlo is well deserving of her high modern-day status, and I believe she will remain a well-respected, influential woman for years and years to come.